Okay, let's bring the meeting to order, please. Mr. Bishop, will you do the invocation, please?
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, thank you for this beautiful day in Fannin County. Thank you for the commissioners we have here, and I ask that you be with each one of them individually and be with them in a corporate manner, that they make decisions that's good for this county. Then let us, the people, support them when they're right, and oppose them when we think they're wrong. And I thank you that we have the right to do that in this country and in this county. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get started, we had one last minute item that we needed to add, and this was open a software bid for our 911 center. So, gentlemen, I would make a motion, if you would agree, that we add that to our agenda, add it as item 9C under department head reports. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Here a second? All in favor? We'll add it as item 9C, and that's our software bid for the 911 center. All right. Old business, approve the minutes of the April 11th regular meeting. Please let me know, gentlemen, when you've read. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Minutes are approved. Okay, next item will be public commentary. Please raise your hand. Let us know who you are, where you're from. Keep your comments, please, to 3 minutes. And please note that we have email at the bottom if you have questions that you want answered. We will not answer questions here. But who would like to be first? Ms. Daugherty, please come up.
My name is Sandra Daugherty, and I live in the Cracker Creek area.
Sorry, Ms. Daugherty.
Several months ago, we asked the board to read out the checks over $4,500 as they were being approved. I asked Mr. Helton prior to the election how he felt about this request. Mr. Helton told me he would not agree to have them read out aloud, because I want to know where my tax dollars are being spent. I was submitting an open records request once a month for the previous month. In February, I received electronically all checks for January, and in March, I received electronically all checks for February. Imagine my surprise when in April, I requested copies of checks for March and was told there would be a 10-cent per copy charge and an approximate $30 charge for 2 hours employees' wages for reduction. I don't understand why rules are changed without notice. My daughter was told that the new change was due to excessive amounts of open records requests. I only make one per month. If someone is taking advantage, then charge them, not everyone. Or be transparent as possible
Thank you, ma'am. Who'd like to be next? Ms. Holcomb.
Debbie Holcomb, Sugar Creek area. Basically did what my mom said, only I have a little bit further to go with it. I did make another open records request this morning, wanting to know the list of just how many, or what records were requested in the months of March and in April. I did receive a reply. The first copy was of where it had been typed up what my request was, and then it said it was completed. And then I was sent a copy of April. In April there were 6 or 7 requests total. That's it. I did email back because I didn't get March. Hopefully I'll have an answer to that. But I guess the answer that I got in the email on why all of a sudden charges are being done was because there were so many. And I'm thinking 7 in 1 month? Question mark. The other thing is that I thought public records, county, what the taxpayers are, their money is being spent for was part of public records, and yet the charge that in the email it says $15 per hour for redaction. So I looked up the word redaction, which means editing or publication. I don't understand that either. So hopefully someone can explain that to me in an email or some answer of why would we pay $15 per hour for redaction of public records. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb.
Marcella Osteen, Blue Ridge. This is not planned, for over 45. I'm glad to see that other people are interested in this too. And I'll preface my statement by, I requested a long time ago, over a year ago, when Commissioner Simons was chairman, that the over $4,500 checks, as you're signing them, just read out who it's to, the amount, and what it's for. It's easy peasy. And he actually said, I don't see why we can't do that. Then next meeting it was dropped like a hot rock, like many other things. So periodically I've been suggesting, please tell us what these checks are, because the purpose of an open meeting and government in the sunshine is for interactive, as much as possible, an interactive experience. We are here, citizens are here, not just to look pretty or to take up our time, because we're just dying to be here. It's because we care about this government and we pay taxes, and some of us really are interested in what's going on. Hence, my suggestion that we need to know how much these checks are, what they're for. It's just polite. If we're sitting here, we need to know it. And so, got stonewall on that forever. And so I made a public records request to Miss Denise Duncan, very sharp lady, and I requested that she send me a list of the ones that will be made, just the amount, who to, and what it's for, before the meeting. And then at this meeting, if she did that, I could turn around to the people and say, okay, this is what they're going to be signing tonight, people. But of course that didn't work because she's not obligated to create a record. I understand that. But my purpose and my request was to put the heat on yet again, because this is an important thing, and there's absolutely no reason why y'all can't tell what checks you're signing while you're up there. That's one thing. The other thing is, I'm hard of hearing, and kudos to you, Mr. Helton, because from the minute you sat down in that seat, you pulled that microphone over to your mouth, and you are perfect on it. You even asked me, can you hear Mrs. Osteen? I said, yes, thank you. So other times, though, I have to remonstrate with the other commissioners to get them to use their mic. And I did that last time to Earl, asked me if he could put his mic on. And he kind of jokingly said, why don't you get a hearing aid? And I kind of jokingly said, well, because they cost $5,000 and I really don't, and they don't work for a lot of people. But the more I thought about that, I know you were joking, but we paid for those microphones and I want them to be used. And I'm not the only one with hearing, and I'm not deaf to irritate people, and it's irritating me more than ever. And even people like you who do have hearing aids, I sit here so I can hear. So please, get them up to your mouth, put on the thing they're paid for, that can be done.
Thank you, Ms. Osteen.
You're welcome.
Mr. Garner.
I'm Ralph Garner, Blue Ridge. On the subject of the new fire station, I wish to note with appreciation Commissioner Johnson's rejection of a bond salesman's pitch in the summer of 2015 when financing for a new fire station was first under discussion, and also his idea to direct SPLOST funds specifically for the new fire station. I acknowledge as well Commissioner Sosby's support of those two initiatives. You posts were not the previous chairman's rubber stamp on that occasion, and I ask that you gentlemen not be the current chairman's rubber stamp either. For example, when a citizen asks for an extra minute to finish a coherent presentation and Mr. Helton denies the request, I ask that you gentlemen allow the citizen to finish. Joe Webb was denied an additional minute to speak about a concerning traffic pedestrian setup at the Shallowford Bridge area. Stan, you spend plenty of time in casual conversation with the department heads, but you are shutting out the public even more than was the case with your predecessor. Now, on the subject of Mr. Helton's ridiculous $34 charge to fulfill an open records request by Sandy Daughtry for copies of March invoices over $4,500. In the first place, this information should be posted on the county's website. At the very least, the public should have access to the same packet of invoices that our post commissioners review, and there should be no charge to run that extra copy. I'd be surprised if more open records requests are coming in now than were handled by Rita Kirby, but you fired her in a heavy-handed fashion and replaced her with 3 employees to do the work she did without complaint. Stan, your treatment of Ms. Daughtry's request for those invoices reflects your broken promises of transparency, fiscal accountability, and improved communication with the public. And further, I understand you were decidedly rude to a couple members of the media when they asked to see the packet of invoices over $4,500. And you utterly ignored citizen Marcella Osteen's polite request at our last meeting that the public hear simply to whom the checks were written and for what. What is there to hide?
Thank you, Mr. Garner. Anyone else? Mr. Webb.
This is my 3rd time this year speaking at public comments to address what I consider the old business issue of safety on Astor Road at Shallowford Bridge. There was a motion by this board to increase public safety in that area, and nothing has been done since that motion except one thing, and that's been undone. So there's a standing motion to improve safety. At the last meeting, I pointed out that there's actually a pedestrian crosswalk in a passing zone. There's 6 driveways in a passing zone. Before the last meeting on Thursday, before the deadline, I submitted a request to the commission to ask them to please put on the agenda the safety at Astor Road in this area. I asked 3 things simply be done perhaps. One, we just go ahead and make a motion to paint out the passing lane. It's 2/10 of a mile long, has 2 public roads, crosswalk, 6 driveways. It's in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. It's impossible to pass legally in that zone, so why don't we paint it out? Why don't we simply paint the stripes so we can see them? If you stand on the road in the rain right now, you can't see the stripes on the road even for the pedestrian crosswalk. So could we at least have a motion tonight to paint the pedestrian crosswalks? Before, there was discussion to put in blinking lights in the area. I suggest we look at that again as a motion. Then fourthly, I suggest maybe we have a meeting with the people out there to look at other public safety measures. There are no sidewalks. This is one of the most heavily trafficked tourist areas in the summer in the county. We will literally have public safety issues. So last time I asked for an extra minute and a half from the chairman. I was denied. I asked the CFO of the county if there was a financial liability. The answer is no, there's not a financial liability because of our insurance. So if a child gets killed, the county's not financially liable. I asked the county attorney said that the county is protected by sovereign immunity and therefore citizens can't sue the county. I asked the road department manager again, and he said if I waited, I'd be pleasantly surprised. Well, I shouldn't be surprised by the plan for public safety that should have already been implemented. So I'm asking once again, please, it's old business. There was a vote to improve public safety. I will not speak at this from public comments again because obviously a citizen has no input to this body if this body cannot even follow their own motions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Anyone else?
My name is Blanche Harrell. I'm from Morganton, and I'm here in regard to some property next door to me that is, to say the least, in poor condition. It's been that way for quite some time. We've tried to work with the people to get it cleaned up. I have pictures of buckets of water, old tires. There's rats and snakes coming to my property from this. Marie Woody has worked diligently to try to get these people to clean it up to no avail. I feel like it needs to be condemned and the issue forced. And if you see fit, or if you'd like to see the pictures, I'd be more than glad to show it to you.
Do you have something that you can leave with us, ma'am?
I can leave this with you. I also have a petition from everyone on Collins Road that
Okay.
we're sick and tired of it, frankly.
Sure. You got the
I
address?
realize, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, ma'am.
I do have the addresses, and I'll be glad to leave it with you.
Okay.
We realize that people have their daily life and they have concerns, and things pop up. You can't always get everything done like you, but this is ridiculous. It's a health hazard.
If you would, we'll pass this down to the county clerk. We appreciate you bringing that to our attention. We've got all that's the address of the property.
That's the address. This is my address down here. That's my backyard. The power line goes through there. There's trees that need to be trimmed.
Okay.
All this is just, and this is not recent. This has been here for some time.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll be glad to give you the petition if you'd like.
Thank you very much.
You're more than
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Public commentary is closed. To approve the invoices over $4,500.
I've read them and I make a motion to approve.
Mr. Sosby,
I'll second the motion, I will approve.
all in favor? The invoices are approved. Ms. Sherry Morris, next item, Executive Director, Fannin County Family Connection.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, and good evening to all my peers who are here with volunteer organizations. It's National Volunteer Week, and I thank you for the time on the agenda to share some exciting news for volunteers and the agencies in the county who need volunteer services. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Fannin County Family Connection, I am pleased to announce a new service and tool for all of the nonprofits, government agencies, faith-based organizations, and services that serve Fannin's populations who may be in need. The new online tool is called Resource.Directory. Fannin County organizations are encouraged to participate in this robust and dynamic system that will allow clients, volunteers, donors, and others to locate services, connect via hot links to websites, announce hours, provide descriptions and phone numbers for their organizations. This service is being provided to all organizations in Fannin County free of charge as a service by Family Connection. Those who are interested in participating can simply Google Resource.Directory, click to ask for an agency login, and the staff at Family Connection will assist the agency in signing up. Clients who are looking for services can Google Resource Directory and find 4 overall categories of services divided under 1, family and children, 2, healthcare and wellness, 3, business and education, and 4, food, housing, and other assistance. Drop-down menus help those looking for resources to find solutions for their needs. Additionally, through an interagency committee, a group called Volunteers Move Mountains has formed here in the county. Resource.Directory will be a vital tool for this group. The group is responsible for the outreach of the directory project and for organizing an exciting new downtown exhibit fair on the first Saturday in October. At this volunteer fair, all agencies and organizations who serve the people of Fannin County are invited to participate and have a table in the downtown park. We are hopeful this event will become a popular event for organizations in Fannin County to find local volunteers and reach out to those second homeowners and weekenders who will soon become citizens of our beautiful county. Family Connection looks forward to a bright future for volunteers and to continue to serve those in need with our partners in the county. We thank you for the proclamation recognizing National Volunteer Week and for the new services and tools that are now available in our service community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sherry. I'll be glad to sign this, and you have some folks with you here?
Anyone who's here from a volunteer organization that would like to be involved, please come forward. And thank you guys for being here.
Would you like for us to come down there? Will you guys live down here with me? Let's all
That'd be
do
great.
that. Be glad to do it. You do it, sir? I guess I'm sick and tired of the same old pictures standing there in the office or the conference room, and these guys are not in it, and I think they need to be a part of it as much as we can, so we appreciate that. All right. Item number 5, approval to close the Sheriff's Department's UCBI Explorer account. Denise, you want to tell us a little more what that is for the folks?
I understand the Sheriff's Department Explorer. You can pass me the microphone. I can talk loud enough. Can you hear me without microphone? You can back there? All right. The Sheriff's Department's Explorer program is no longer an active program. It's been dormant for a while now. Therefore, they've just had the account and been paying interest, and so they're requesting that they close that account. They do still have the fire department Explorer program, so this does not affect that. This is just requesting a dormant account, and the commissioners to give them permission to close that account.
Okay, all right. I make a motion, we close that account. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Account is closed. How much money, by the way, is in that, Denise?
For that, to Robin. I think it's like $334 in it, and they did donate it to the Fire Explorer account.
Okay, that's a very worthy thing. Okay. Item 6, the service agreement for operations of Fannin County Transportation, better known as MATS. And this is just a continuation of what we do each year for the North Georgia Community Action to provide that service, primarily for elderly and disabled people and those in need through the county. It's an excellent service, needs our support. And technically, it's an agreement/contract, but we'll, since this takes the full board to do a contract, it's close enough, I think, for me to sign this, I would need a motion from you gentlemen. If you've had a chance to look at that, have a, any questions?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? I'll sign that right now. 2 copies, Denise?
Yes.
Okay. All right, item 7, authorization of challenge cost share agreement. And this is simply an agreement between Fannin County and the Forest Service, and also with cooperation from the Lake Blue Ridge Recreation, or the Lake Blue Ridge Association. There's an area out off of the Green Creek Day Use area, off of Dry Branch Road near the boat ramp. It's a wonderful area, has hiking, access to the lake for our community, and the Forest Service needed some help from the county. Basically, this comes in the form of some work in kind. We're not really sending them any cash or committing to that, but it's just an agreement for us to support them in keeping that area open, provide recreation to our citizens, and doing some mowing out there occasionally when it fits. But this is simply just an agreement to do that. And again, it will require approval from the board for me to sign this. Do you gentlemen, do you have any questions about that?
No, I think it'd be a very good, recreation area to open back up. It's been closed for quite some time, and if we can help them the little bit that I think we're being asked to help, I think it's a good thing for everyone. And the people that know which place we're talking about know it's a very, desirable area to camp, hike, whatever, access the lake. And I think it'd be a good idea for us to help them out with it.
Any comments or thoughts, Commissioner Sotheby?
No.
It's a great area, and they just need a little muscle, I guess you could say, that we can provide, and work in cooperation with other groups to provide benefit to our citizens. That's what I really enjoy doing. So do I hear a motion for me to be approved to sign this?
I'll make that motion.
I have a second? All in favor? Okay, variance request. Our first variance request is for Stephen Welch Tucker Sr. and Teresa Rosen Tucker. This is off of Antioch Cemetery Road, very beautiful area, very scenic. And these folks want to place a garage 15 feet from the edge of Antioch Cemetery Road, which is a very remote road. I've been up there. They've already had a variance approved previously to build their home. Really the only place they can do that. It's a wonderful view, but it's so steep. They really have to come in, and I've been up there. I've had Keith check this out. I have no problem, neither does Keith whatsoever, in approving this.
Thank you. I'm Stephen Tucker.
Okay. They have to approve. They haven't said yes yet.
I have no problem either.
Okay. So I hear a motion to approve this. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Variance is approved. You are now official, sir.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful view you got up there.
Yeah, it sure is.
Be nice to invite the commissioners up there, one at a time.
Consider yourself invited.
the way, that was me driving back and forth slowly yesterday. If you thought somebody was, I wasn't gonna break in, I was just trying to look at it.
But all right. Next time, stop in.
All right. Our second variance is for James and Jolene Rowe. This is out on Bullen Gap Road to Mountain Tops, turns off to Little Hiawatha Trail. Some good folks that have moved in here about a year ago, bought a beautiful place. Needed a little shed. It's on, what they want is to place a carport 16 feet from the edge of Little Hiawatha Trail, which has no homes. It's basically kind of a circular driveway. Was out there yesterday, visited with these folks. But they have an immaculate home, immaculate grounds. I have no doubts they will have something very attractive. I also had Jody go out and take a look at it today. He had no problem with it, so without any further ado, you gentlemen have any questions on this one?
Not that I can see that one, I don't.
Okay, all right.
Like a motion to accept that.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I want to make sure you get your second. We don't want to run over you.
You don't run over.
Don't run over you. All in favor, say aye. Okay. Variance is approved. All right, my favorite part, department reports and updates. Mr. Eddie O'Neill, you're in the building?
Just briefly, spring sports season for us is coming to an end. We will be finished with soccer, volleyball, baseball, girls softball around May the 18th, about the last week of school. So that will all wind down. We are taking registration for summer day camp kids, and most of the staff, I think we like 2 more counselors to commit, and we will be ready for summer day camp coming on. The playground that was equipment has arrived that was donated by the Kiwanis Club. Hopefully that installation will be done by Friday. They started this morning on that. So hopefully by Friday we'll have that up and usable for the parents and the kids there.
Can you take any pictures and put that on your website?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
When it's up. So, great job there. We'd also like to thank ETC. They gave us a $1,000 donation last week, so we do appreciate that donation. That will help. As far as maintenance, we had some lightning damage, all that's been repaired. We had the fire alarm system was damaged, that had to be redone. And we had a scoreboard that was melted. So all that's been replaced and functional now at this point in time. As far as park maintenance go, all the playing surfaces were overseeded aerated last week, so hopefully we can get some new growth soccer fields that they take a beating for the 2 seasons on one set of fields. Basically, we play a spring and fall season of soccer, so it's very seldom that those fields get a break in between. I guess about a month or so back, we requested bids to remodel and refurbish the house that's in the park that was vacated by a previous employee. I think Ken and Keith and I met a couple of times, and those guys came up with a list of stuff that needed to be done and changed to make it wheelchair accessible and replace. Obviously, the decking was rotted out, and replace the roof. Anyway, I have hard copies of those bids. Those bids were posted. We had one company bid for the $41,200.
Senator Moore doing it, had 2 minutes try.
He's doing fine. I'm going out actually this week to inspect the second round, see what's going on there, and make sure we're up to
Everything, the bathroom's been cleaned, everything.
yes. Yeah.
Got it.
honest with you, I got that bid by calling this guy and asking him. I heard him talking about finishing up a house. I mean, you know how much building's going on now. It's hard to get carpenters that are not, you know, a year behind, I guess, at this point in time.
How did you feel about this? Was this, you know, a good number?
I think so, for the amount of work with the roof and the siding and everything he's having to do. I know a little bit about construction. I think that's pretty fair cost.
So you think we can just call around and see it?
Yeah, I'll be glad.
At least 2 more maybe?
You
Just
suggest
to make sure, no, I'm not suggesting anybody. I'm not suggesting anybody.
To be honest with you, when we posted the bid said a month with no responses.
Right.
And I started calling some carpenters that I knew too, and I found this. So that's how we ended up with this. I know Ken's talked to a couple people.
You need to do some work at Horseshoe Bend or something too?
He's going to. But we could post it again, put it back on the website.
Well, I mean, you've done it, I mean, you've been trying for a month and you just got this, right? I mean, you made an active effort to try to find people.
That's correct.
I would all be for going ahead with this. You know, gentlemen, have your, whatever you want to do, but my part, I think it's time to move forward. You got a lot of things going on. I hate to delay any further. This needs to be done.
Yeah, we'd like to get started.
I will make a motion that we move ahead with Shoreline Solutions, $41,200 to remodel the Park House. That's a good building. I've been in there looking around at that, and it does need work done. We need to get it done right because it's a nice asset. If we don't take care of it, it's just going to crumble. And Marie may have to put it on her condemnation list if we don't. But I'll make the motion that we do that. Do I have a second?
So you don't think you can get another bid?
We can repost it. I'm not sure.
Let's try to repost it one more time.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion. We will, then, we don't really need to make a motion, do we, just to repost, just continue it? So we'll have this, for our next meeting, postpone it to then.
So we're talking about what, just know we might miss his time frame, you know what I'm saying?
Right, I understand that.
Here's the problem I have, I'll go ahead and be straight up. He has no certificate of insurance, he has no nothing in this bid. There's nothing here, and out of the 100 builders in Fannin County, I'm sure we can get 3 bids. I mean, we got 2 bids on grass that cost, well, sure, we can get 3 bids on putting siding and porches on a house. Because I just think it would be the smart thing to do. That way it keeps him in these other conspiracies that, you know, anything's going on. I think we at least need 3 bids. That way, I know for myself, I would feel better. That's what I would ask for.
Did we not have a certificate of insurance on this?
He does have, I think this was just forwarded to me from Ken. Ken had kind of handled all this, and I think he's got that. I thought he was coming tonight, but he is insurance. He does tons of work for
possibility we're gonna miss his window if we hold out 2 weeks?
That is very
When's
possible.
it gonna start on Horseshoe Bend?
He's starting on Horseshoe Bend next week.
And he'll be there up till the next meeting for sure, will he not? He can't finish that 2 weeks, can he?
The shed,
Yeah,
I don't know. I would think.
I tell you, he'll be still available next meeting.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. We'll repost it.
Okay, thank you, Eddie.
Before we move on, I'd just like to say, I'm not trying to be difficult with either of the two of you, but I just think it would be smart to at least have a competitive bid on anything you do.
No problem at all, sir. We'll do this
Or
again
at
in
least
2
one
weeks.
more, can I say that? At least one more bid? Let's not try to go 3. I know that would be out of the question, too hard for everybody.
Sure.
At least one more.
Denise, you got that for 2 weeks, or our first meeting in May, actually. Okay. All right. Okay, next department report, Ms. Woody.
Reed Woody, Fannin County Land Development. We had 10 building permits this month so far, so we're down from last month, but last month we had 35, so what can I say? I've got pictures for y'all, thanks to Mr. Helton, he took one yesterday of the Dial Road cleanup, and I'll just hand you this package. There you go. So an update on condemnations. The old Dial Road is one of the pictures that you have in the package. They have made progress. It's not completed, but it's progress. East Street, the house is gone. It's cleaned up and the debris has been removed. Highway 2 is another picture that you have there in your package. That house is cleaned up and all the debris has been removed, and there's some beautiful azaleas blooming out there. Salem Road, the bank, we're still waiting for the bank possession on that one. Riverside Lane, no response from the letter given in 30 days. The date will be up May 1st. Both the letters were returned, the certified and the regular mail, so he did not claim his mail.
Did we send a letter to the people that lady we talked about?
Yes, sir, I've sent multiple letters to them.
Multiple letters?
Yes.
Yes, and back.
I also have, sir,
Go, no, you go ahead.
I have, 4 new complaints. Mobile Road, there's a trailer sitting out there, it's been there for a while. Bell Road, there's a house falling in. Williamstown Road, there was another house that they asked that we look at and condemn. And River Road is a burnout house, and they expect to clean that up within the next couple of months.
So, number 5, that's the one you had contact with, personal contact?
Yes, sir. I
And
did
then the
speak-
letter, no response?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, our next step then?
Would be, if y'all decide to condemn it, we get 3 bids and see what it costs to take it down, and, then charge it back with this property card, or this property deed.
And this is number 5.
Yes, Riverside Lane. I don't know what number it is on that list. I don't remember.
Number 5.
Okay.
Okay. Gentlemen, we ready to vote on condemnation?
There's no response, I don't see when we have any other choice, really.
I did speak to him on the phone. I let him know that y'all, that it was going to condemnation if he didn't clean it up. And he basically said, well, what can they do? And I said, sir, they can condemn it.
really, really didn't care.
Basically, I feel like it's just like,
And it's just a piece of property the taxes were
there
repaid,
is taxes due, I think $1,900,
so,
19.
so he passed it.
Yes,
Where's that piece of property at? I don't know.
it's on Astor Road. It's off, off of Astor Road on the other side of one.
This is the one that's got the old pool table inside it.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Few beer cans.
What brand?
I don't know. I didn't drink it. I'm sorry, I didn't drink them.
Details, Marie, details.
No details.
Gentlemen, I'm ready to vote for condemnation. What say you?
I say we've exhausted every other possibility we have that
I'll
choice.
make a motion to proceed.
Do I hear a second? I'll make a second. All in favor of condemnation on this property? Move ahead. What else do you have, Miss Woody?
Oh, whoa.
You've got a nice sign over here, don't you? You wanna pick that up, let them take a picture of it? We're not gonna stand around you on that one.
No, thanks for the support.
Zach will help you with it. Here's our ordinance.
Anybody hauling garbage?
Yeah, you might wanna explain that to people. We wanna make that real loud and clear.
Anybody hauling garbage within Fannin County that the truck is not tarped or covered and the garbage secure can and will be issued a citation.
And they'll have to go to magistrate court.
Magistrate court, the fine is between $410 to $1,000.
And who's gonna be out there writing the tickets?
Chairman, you said I would be.
That's exactly right. And they're not gonna know when you're gonna be there, right?
No, sir.
Who's the right to the ticket?
Marie Woody.
Okay. Does it apply to pickup trucks?
If it's garbage and it's not covered, then you could give us
Okay,
citation.
so a pickup truck is in the ordinance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you're hauling garbage, I don't care if
But
you're
I'm
hauling
not a
garbage.
garbage hauler, I'm taking my personal
If
trash.
you're personal trash and you don't have it covered, yes, sir, it applies to you.
Okay, just wanted to know. Not clear.
Okay. Well, Ms. Woody, we thank you. We're trying to do some things, and you have that authority to do that as enforcement. So you can do it. You can write the citations. They'll go to magistrate court and try to deal with the magistrate judge. I think it's about time we did this, to let people know we're serious. That's a big part of our trash problem. I mean, we know that. We've looked at it. We've checked it out. And it may be politically unpopular, but you know what? It's the right thing to do.
And I believe they do have until, what was it?
Oh, you-
June 1st to comply?
Yeah, we're letting them know.
June 1st
way
of
ahead.
2017 to comply.
Yeah. And these signs are gonna be at all three of our advanced
There'll be
disposal
two
locations.
signs at each station,
Right.
at each disposal station, one on each entrance.
Well, anyway.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Miss Woody. Appreciate it. All right, item 9C that we added was a bid for software. Mr. Graham, you wanna come up and explain that to everybody?
With permission, I'd like to get the director Cook also to come to our 911. This is for replacing the CAD or computer-aided dispatch software. This is to replace the computer-aided dispatch software we currently use, which is outdated. And I'll let Patrick explain a little more about it.
This is the software that keeps up with every address in the county, and it keeps track of which units we're sending to the emergencies. Fire, EMS, sheriff, law enforcement. And our current software is in need of an upgrade, so this is what this software.
Okay. It's basically the brains for the 911, isn't it? Okay. You You guys have spent a lot of time on this, haven't you?
We have, for several years now, finally got the funding for it, moving forward.
And I know you've had a number of the 911 operators over there when they've done demonstrations to give you feedback on this, haven't you?
Correct.
So we checked it out thoroughly.
I might add that Deputy Director Cook's made a lot of research on it, and we spent a lot of time working on the RFP, and he did a good job of it. Whichever one we choose, will be a good choice for us.
Yeah. So we'll open the bids, and then you guys will need some time to make sure everything is copacetic with the bids, comparing apples to apples, and then you'll be looking for a decision on this by
The next meeting.
the next meeting? Okay. Denise, you have bids you want to open? You've got the microphone, if you just want to announce the bids and the pricing there, is that the way you want to do it, and keep the bids there?
If they minded. This one is from GeoConnect Corporation. $41,383.40.
Would you repeat that, Denise? 41?
$41,383 and I don't have a photograph.
That's close.
Memory. 40 cents. This one is from the Public Safety Software Solution. That's not the company, no, it's Zuricher Technologies. Okay. Services total. Probably would be this total. $132,621. $132,621. I think they're offering several suite pricing because they have a suite pricing here, and then they've got like, I think it's one of these that you can get the deluxe, and then you can continue to deluxe, because I started on the really deluxe package.
Well, that's why it'll take 2 weeks for these guys to figure out what we're really looking at.
So if you want the base price, it is $97,950. That's their standard suite. You get a whole lot of stuff with that.
You might want to sit over here, Commissioner Sullivan.
He needs a haircut. is Southern Software Incorporated.
What's the name again, please?
Southern Software Incorporated. I thought you were making fun of my Southern.
I was.
No, I kind of thought that.
It's a lot of pressure being the price is right, girl, isn't it, Denise?
Oh, we've got Dan over here. Okay, yeah, they've got a proposal. Now, are you getting a CAD server or just the CAD? Okay, so the total of theirs is $137,975. And then, of course, they have additional options as well. Price it by weight. You can't afford this one. All right, this one is from PSSI, the Public Safety Systems Incorporated. Technical comments, tell me the prices. Wow. Okay, the total base system price, so I need to do the final system cost is $120,375.
Is that it? Okay. So you guys want to get these later on from Denise and start rifling through them and seeing what the differences and comparisons are?
Got your recommendation?
If I may, is there any way when we send out RFPs from now on, because we go through this every time we open something up, and this is a case in which I very often deal with, can whoever, when we put our RFP out, it needs to be a very clear and legible cover sheet with these prices on it, so we don't have to sit here and raffle through everything, because this is the reason why most counties do this, is for this very reason. It's so hectic. Trying to find which sheet, because some of them want it in the back, some of them want it in the front, some want good news first or bad news first, So in our RFPs, when we send anything out to bid, I mean, even homes or re-siding, with RFP, with what you're requesting, have a clear and legible cover sheet.
This was specifically in the advertisement in the paper, we specifically had that about a cover sheet. This was the one after the last ambulance,
Right.
and they obviously didn't mind. So, and Lynn sent me the verbiage to put in there about the cover sheet.
So if you put it in there, I mean, maybe Lynn can word this better, but if it's not in the cover sheet in there, that we can deem their bid ineligible, and then I guarantee they'll do like the rest of the world, they'll put it on the very front, so she can open it, and we can do this in a timely fashion.
We have any other bids coming up anytime soon that we'll be having to send out?
We have two other proposals that are out for bid now.
Okay.
One for the fire trucks and one for the public safety complex.
Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we specified in the bid, the requirements that they cross on the cover sheet for the fire trucks. And I'm not sure about the public safety, but we can certainly look into that. I don't know if we-
Well, maybe we could call them and reinforce that as well as in writing. That would help. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right. Item number 10, finalize the date for our planning for future needs of our road department, fire rescue EMS workshop. And this is basically what we need and how we're going to pay for it for capital expenditures on equipment that we have planned going forward. And I think you've already asked, Robin, have you not, for department heads to give you information, and you've not had much response?
I've not had any response yet.
Okay.
I have had told they get to me within the week.
Okay, and maybe if you do that in an email and copy me, I can reinforce that, make sure we get that. So what kind of time frame? What do you gentlemen want to look at? Obviously, we're looking at May.
Is there any way we could plan it before the next meeting, like at 5 o'clock or something, do the workshop at 5, go in our regular meeting at 6? How do you feel about that?
Pretty great, man. Cause I'm putting myself down now, and I can't come up here other than Wednesday, like you be.
So you're saying like on our next meeting would be, I believe, May the 9th? On that Tuesday, have a workshop at 5 o'clock? Is that what we like?
Yeah, that way, I mean,
Or something?
that would basically limit it to it. You know what I mean?
That would be very good. Okay, all right. I'm
That way
good
we
with that.
go with that straight into our business.
Okay, that's fine. If that's an accommodation that works for you, gentlemen, I have no problem with that. So we're looking at that workshop date, Tuesday, May the 9th at 5 o'clock. Robert, do you guys see any problem with meeting that kind of time frame or any future needs to bring it forward to the board by that time frame?
We've been discussing, trying to figure out, we just haven't put in a written format.
Okay. Zach, you got anything on the horizon? Nothing? Okay. All right, so most of it's going to be, Robert, under your purview. And we can double check with any of the other department heads, but I think most of it's going to be there. So, okay. 5 o'clock.
So, I mean, maybe they don't want anything. Is that the case, Robert?
Oh, we got lots of wrongs.
I mean, it was hard, so hard to get a response, maybe that's a good thing.
Okay. A couple of notes. Denise, do you want to note the corrections that we're going to have? I noticed right here that we had, our next meeting will be Tuesday, June the 9th. That's not really
Yeah, no,
correct.
I was trying to wipe out the month of May, so I'm sorry. I apologize. The correction is our meeting will be May the 9th, obviously, with workshop before it at 5 o'clock, but our meeting will be May the 9th. On the agenda, it reflects June the 9th. So I was just wiping out the month of May. I apologize. And then, do we have a called, I think we have a called board meeting on the 3rd, which is with the complex.
Did we finalize that at that point, May the 3rd? No, I don't think so.
No, they didn't have enough time to get
No,
it.
no, not yet. So no, just the May the 9th, workshop at 5 o'clock, regular meeting at 6 o'clock.
We had talked about having a special call meeting, but,
He had kind of noted it in, Robert, do you remember the email that he sent with the updated corrected dates?
For the public safety complex, yes, it's May the 30th, I believe, is the opening date.
Well, we'll have time by that meeting to clarify what those times are, correct, Robert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we have nothing else then on there this time. Okay, do we need executive session?
I've got something I'd like to say, if I could.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner, go ahead, sir.
Zach, our striping machine, is it working?
not in the service. What do we like getting it going? I've had some complaints as well as Mr. Wells right there from several individuals up there wanting that striped out. If we can get that striped out, I'll make a motion that we stripe that part of the road out.
Having plans to turn in our OMX safety, they will be striping, put on there when that's approved, so we make for that. That's the plan.
Good. All right.
Could you repeat what you just said?
No, because I didn't hear it all. You're asking one that can't hear.
Zach, do you mind coming up to the microphone so that
I just nod and say yes, that's the way I do it at home, so I just do it here.
Hey, I've got the LMIG project turned in, and I'm gonna do some striping. I'm gonna do around 50 miles of striping in the county. That's what the plans are. And I'm gonna do about 16 miles of RPM, which is raised paper markers on asphalt. And definitely will double. I'm gonna put double lines through. There's not gonna be a passing line on asphalt, because that road is not set for that. So that's the plan.
Thank you.
anything else, sir?
No.
Mr. Johnson? Denise, hit the timer.
I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I'm going to clarify for some of the people who this approving the invoice deal. I want everyone here to know that there was one of the reasons I feel like I was elected. We've come from the past 2 years. We went from no one knowing who was signing what to now there's at least 3 people signing checks. Okay. And at any given time, any person can request to see what checks we're signing, but in no way, form, or fashion will I sit up here and read 40 or 50 checks for people to hear what we're writing for, because I feel like I was elected to do that. I feel like these gentlemen were elected to do that, and the people place their trust in us to do that. And at any time, I don't know that anyone has any problem getting any copy of any check. I mean, I would hope not. So, I would like to clarify that, I mean, because I've heard it for the past 3 meetings that, you know, and I'll never joke again with anyone. So please don't approach this bench and ask me to joke with you anyone. That's my nature, is to joke, but I will not joke ever again. I am using my microphone, and I would like for everyone to know that there is no way that I will sit in here and read 40 or 50 checks. Unless either one of these other 2 gentlemen feel like they want to read them. We all 3 approve them now. At least 2 people are looking at anything over 4,500. We came a long way from what we had. But from what we had, no one really knew what was happening. And so just be proud that, you know, we're progressing and we're getting better. But there's no way, I just want everyone to know how I feel. I can't sit up here and bore people reading 50 checks off. If you want to know what we're writing or approving, at any time, I'm sure you can talk with her and see what we're approving. But, you know, if 50 people were wanting to know what we were writing them for, or maybe 100, I mean, out of 24,000 in Fannin County, if 12,000 said, Earl, I think, you know, you need to read the checks off, I might start considering it at that point. But I just want you to know we came a long way from where we were. And there is nothing to hide that I've seen. I don't think these guys have seen anything hidden either. But I mean, 50 checks would take a long time out of this meeting. And this meeting, some of my friends have asked me, you know, what is that for entertainment? This meeting is not for entertainment for some people. This meeting is for us to conduct county business and everyone be able to observe out in the open. And that's what we do to the best of our ability. And so I want everyone to know that that's exactly how I feel about it. And I will not bore, I don't know how many people are here tonight, I'm guessing 70. We're here at the peak, 70 people with 50 checks. If you want to know what they are, you can request that. But 3 commissioners are looking at each and every one of them. And I want you to know we came a long way from what we were 2 years ago. That's all I have to say.
we need executive session, gentlemen? Okay. Have a motion to adjourn? I second. All in favor? Thank you.